From figure 2i above, find the value of x. You can see figure 2i, it is a right angle triangle. This is a right angle. It's always indicated as such. That means this angle is equal to 90 degrees. For us to find the value of x, we are going to make use of Pythagoras Theorem, which states that the square of the hypotenuse of a right angled triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the two other sides. That's the theorem we are going to make use of in order to answer this given problem. Take solution by using Pythagoras Theorem. The hypotenuse of any right angled triangle is always opposite the 90 degrees angle. This is the 90 degrees angle. This is the hypotenuse, and it is always the longest side of the triangle. This is the height. This is the base. This will give us x squared. We are going to square it. Will be equal to the base squared plus the height squared. This will give us x squared equal to, we are going to expand x minus 1 squared. This will be the same as x minus 1 times x minus 1 plus, we are going to expand x minus 2 squared, which is as x minus 2 times x minus 2. This will give us x squared to be equal to x times x gives x squared, x times negative 1, negative x, negative 1 times x, negative x, negative 1 times negative 1 gives positive 1, plus x times x gives x squared, x times negative 2, negative 2x, negative 2 times x, negative 2x, negative 2 times negative 2 gives us positive 4. Another way of expanding x minus 1 squared when the power is 2 is simply you take the first term, you square it, x squared. You take 2 times the first term times the second term. 2 times x gives 2x times negative 1, negative 2x. Then we square the second term. Negative 1 squared gives us positive 1. This is a short and faster way of performing this expansion when the power is 2. This will give us x squared to be equal to x squared plus x squared gives us 2x squared. They are like terms. Negative x minus x gives us negative 2x. Negative 2x minus 2x gives us negative 4x. Negative 4x minus 2x gives us negative 6x. Going on to the constants, we have 1 plus 4, which is 5. Next, we are going to transfer x squared at the left hand side to right hand side of the equality sign. This will give us, we'll be left with 0 equal to 2x squared minus x squared minus 6x plus 5. This will give us 0 to be equal to 2x squared minus x squared gives us x squared minus 6x plus 5. 0 equal to x squared minus 6x plus 5 is the same as saying x squared minus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. You can see this is a quadratic equation. The above quadratic equation can be solved by the method of factorization. First, what we are going to do is we are going to write out the factors of the constant term, that is 5. Factors of 5. We're going to write down both the negative and positive factors of 5. We have negative 5, negative 1, we have 1, and 5. We need two factors of 5 such that their sum is -6 and their product is equal to 5. You'll see if we make use of -5 and -1, -5 plus -1 gives us -6. -5 times -1 gives us +5. This will give us x squared. We are going to replace -6 with -5 plus -1. Remember, this sum is equal to -6 plus -5. Positive, negative will stay. This is as -5 minus 1 times x plus 5 is equal to 0. This will give us x squared plus, we are going to expand the brackets, -5 times x gives -5x, -1 times x gives us -x plus 5 is equal to 0. This will give us x squared. Positive, negative stays. X squared minus 5x minus x plus 5 is equal to 0. We are going to take the terms in pairs and we perform factorization. If we take the first pair, x is common. We are going to factor out x. X times x gives us x squared. X times -5 gives us -5x. The second pair, -x and +5, we are to perform the factorization such that we are going to have x minus 5 in brackets. If we factor out -1, -1 times x gives us -x. -1 times -5 gives us +5 is equal to 0. Now we have two terms. The two terms we have, x minus 5 is common. We're going to factor out x minus 5 times x minus 1 is equal to 0. At this level, we're going to say either x minus 5 is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. The first one, x will be equal to, transferring -5 to the right hand side becomes +5, or x will be equal to, transferring -1 to the right hand side becomes +1. We have two values of x. Now we need to insert the values of x to obtain the dimensions of the triangle. If we take the first one, when x is 5, for x equal to 5, take the first, the hypotenuse will simply be 5. If we take the height which is x minus 2 will be equal to 5 minus 2, which is 3 units. The base will be x minus 1, which is simply equal to 5 minus 1, which is 4 units. 5, 3, 4, they are all positive. Remember, for a triangle, the dimensions are all positive because this is length, and length can never be negative. Next, for x equal to 1, the hypotenuse will simply be 1. The height will be x minus 2, will simply be equal to 1 minus 2, which is -1. Gives us a negative length, which is not real, because length can never be negative. So we are going to discard x equal to 1. That means x can never be equal to 1. Therefore, our x will be equal to 5 units. That's the value of x. Please, you like the video, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching.